What is the best Bible translation? This is one of the most commonly asked questions I get on Bible studies. Listen, I realized that some people hope that the answer to this question will be King James Version, or some people think that it is the Passion Translation because of their passion for the translation. But I want to indicate that this question, as simple as it is, the answer is not as straightforward, right? So to help you make sense of translation, I have made a couple of videos on this series, and the hope is to equip you with what you need to identify the Bible translation that is the most beneficial for you. So in this particular video, I'm going to be sharing 4 tips on how to identify a good Bible translation. The first is accuracy or faithfulness to translation. Listen, things are wild. People are coming up with all sorts of things. You need to know what you are reading so that you don't carry Bible that will be leading you to the bush. So a good Bible translation is faithful to the original manuscript. It's so important. In fact, it's the most important quality of a good Bible translation. Faithfulness to the original manuscript. Why is this important? The Bible was not originally written in English or French or Spanish. It was written in Hebrew, Greek, and Aramaic. And so that means that other than the fact that we're dealing with language barrier, we're also dealing with cultural context. We're dealing with idiomatic expressions. We're dealing with sayings, proverbs. We're dealing with all of these things that are unique to the culture of the writers. So that means that if I'm picking up a Bible and I'm calling it a good translation, I have to bear in mind that it is not to the translator to decide what should be written in the Bible or what should be taken out. A good translation has to say what the person is saying. It's not the kind of situation where you go somewhere and you're telling somebody you are not serious, but the translator is saying, God bless you. No, that's not what we're saying. A good translator would say you are not serious so that we know what we are dealing with. But when we have a translation that is telling us something else, then there is a very big problem. So for you to call something a good translation, it has to be accurate. It has to be faithful. It has to pay mind to what the original writers were saying. Not what you think the original writer should be saying, but what they were actually saying. It's so important. The second thing to look out for is comprehension. What is the point of reading something that you don't understand? You have to make sense of what you are reading. And I know that I've said this now. Somebody will say, hey, there's one translation that I don't know, e.g., King James Version. But I need you to understand something, and I'm begging you in the name of God. What might not be comprehensive to you might be comprehensive to somebody else. Not comprehensive because you think it will make you sound more spiritual, but comprehensive because you understand it. You understand the language. You understand the structure. You understand what you are reading. So comprehension is so important. KJV might not be good for somebody in point A, but it might be beneficial for someone in point B. The third thing to look out for is neutrality. The original audience of King James Version understood what was written. That is how they communicated. It made sense to them, okay? In fact, you might think that it's just KJV, but if you go on Bible Hub and you check other translations, you're going to see some translations that will make you think that you can't see well. You have to put on glasses to make sense of what they are writing or what they wrote. So understand that neutrality is an essential part of translation. If you take a translation and bring it into a space where the language is not understood, or where the phrases, the sentences, construction does not even make sense. I'm not talking about things that you just read one line and you didn't even attempt to understand. I'm talking about genuinely you poured yourself into it and it still doesn't make sense to you. It's not natural to you, your environment, where you are, your language, then that is something to take note of. A good translation sounds natural to the reader. The first thing to take note of is accessibility. If you want to read the Bible, you can't just pick up a Bible that was written in Spanish, especially if you don't understand Spanish, and say, this is a good translation for me. No. A good translation is accessible. It is accessible to people that understand that language. So you have to take note of the fact that the more accessible a Bible translation is, the more beneficial it is for you. So these 4 tips: accessibility, neutrality, comprehension, and faithfulness are the 4 foundational principles for identifying a good Bible translation. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about the categorizations of Bible translations. This will help you make sense of what Bible translations are about and why we have so many translations. See you next time. Bye.